Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
Beautiful day at the Grand Canyon. The Arizona Diamondbacks playing baseball right now like one of the wonders of the Major League world, high above Chase Field here in the Valley, where the first-place team in the NL West resides, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they are set to open a three-game homestand here. Three-game series against the Giants, Game 1, set to get underway. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly along the way. The Arizona Diamondbacks tied right now with the Colorado Rockies for first place in the National League West. Bob, this team is on a roll.
They're on a roll at a good time, too. We talked about it a week or so ago, this stretch of games against National League West opponents. Now's a great time to be hot.
The Diamondbacks are winning. We've heard about the grit narrative, but really, what is it that has led the Diamondbacks to first place in their division? And it's a little thing we like to call want. They are bringing the want. Well, what is want? It is the manifestation of human desire and physical yield when yearning for perfection becomes visible to the naked eye. This team has got want. It is bringing the want, and we have examples of such. No one personifies want, we think, more, at least so far, than Gerardo Parra. The hit streak is up to 13 games.
Every aspect of his game, really, but especially his offense, with so many guys misfiring in the middle of that Diamondbacks batting order. Gerardo Parra has been swinging a hot bat, running the bases aggressively, scoring runs when it appeared there was no run there to be scored.
They've won 5 of 8 series this season, and so many times, Bob, they've come from behind, and you have to have want to do that, and you also have to have guys who can contribute on all 25 spots.
Up and down the roster, we talked about the depth coming out of spring training, how important it was not only for the guys that were in the starting lineup that day, but the guys that are coming off the bench, either to pitch late, to pinch hit late, to pinch run late, whatever the case may be, find a way to help your team win a game.
All these series finale wins, all these extra inning wins. We've heard a lot about the grit narrative in the offseason. We prefer bringing the want, and the Arizona Diamondbacks have certainly brought the want so far this year. They'll have to do it again tonight with Ian Kennedy on the mound against Matt Cain for the Giants. Big timers on the bump. We'll discuss tonight's starting pitchers when we come back. It's Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona.
Baseball is brought to you in part by the UPS Store. Flyers, business cards, brochures, and more. We can print that. And by Valley Honda Dealers. There's a great deal on every new Honda. Visit your Valley Honda dealer today or online at valleyhondadealers.com.
And welcome back to Chase Field on a Monday night. The roof wide open for the start of a three-game showdown against the reigning World Series champion San Francisco Giants. A pair of aces on the hill to get things going tonight for the D-backs, Ian Kennedy, and for the Giants, Matt Cain. He had the perfect game last season. Both off to a bit of a rocky start, uncharacteristic for a pair of the game's top guns. Ian 1-2 with an ERA of 4.70. Cain is winless at 0-2. The ERA a whopping 6.59. Good news for Ian, though. He has been lights out against the Giants over the years. 6-2 overall with an ERA of 2.33. Cain, by the way, has already given up 21 earned runs this season and 6 home runs. Talking to a lot of the D-backs earlier today, and they say that whatever he's done so far in this season, you can't count on it tonight. He is one of the game's very best. He's made some mistakes, leaving pitchers up in the zone. They're going to try to capitalize on that. It's game one of a three-game series against the San Francisco Giants. You'll see it all right here next on Fox Sports Arizona.
First of 3 against the San Francisco Giants, and the Diamondbacks have won 5 of their last 6, including 2 of 3 against these Giants last week in San Francisco. Bruce Bochy's Giants coming in here dragging a 5-game losing streak. They were just swept in 3 over the weekend at San Diego. In fact, San Francisco has lost 8 of its last 12 overall. Angel Pagan will lead it off for the Giants here with the roof and panels open. And Bob, this is the lineup that faces the Diamondbacks. Ian Kennedy here tonight.
A couple guys very hot right in the middle. Pablo Sandoval, 7 hits in his last 2 ball games, and Buster Posey in his last 9, hitting .400 with 6 extra base hits. Definitely have to keep an eye on those two.
Pagan, Scudero, and Sandoval 1 through 3 here to lead it off. First of 3 against these Giants. Let's take a look now at our Arizona 4 Diamondback starting pitcher. He is Ian Kennedy.
Real good start against the Giants on that last road trip, a game that ultimately the Diamondbacks won 3-2 in 10 innings. He went 6 innings, gave up only 4 hits and 1 run in that game, matched up against left-hander Madison Bumgarner.
Kennedy has been very good against these Giants in 14 career starts. 6-2, a 2.33 ERA. The Arizona Diamondbacks, tied for first in the NL West, 5 games over 500 and on a roll, have their opening day starter on the mound. Open this 3-game set against the Giants as Angel Pagan steps in. Warm night here at the ballpark. Roof panels open, and we are underway here at Chase Field. There's a strike, 0-1. Pagan in there at 280, no homers and 11 RBI. Left field, Kuba will give chase, and it is a foul ball. 0-2 now. Diamondbacks look as such defensively, and you'll note there Gerardo Parra. Our defensive graphics are including a metric called defensive runs saved, which quantifies a player's total defensive value. It shows you how many more or fewer successful plays a defender has made compared with league average. Parra, a defensive run saved of +7. 0 is league average. Defensive runs save ranks Gerardo Parra third among all major league outfielders, behind only Norichika Aoki and Starling Marte. And he's in center field tonight already with 1 Gold Glove in his pocket. 1-2 now to Pagan. Struck him out. 1 down here in the first. Good start for Ian Kennedy.
Well, that's a valuable pitch for Ian Kennedy. We know he has that devastating straight changeup. Occasionally has a real good overhand curve, but when he can spot that 4-seam fastball up above the top of the zone, he'll get a lot of swings on that pitch. You see the arsenal for Ian Kennedy here tonight. He'll mix in that 4-seamer up in the zone, occasionally a 2-seam sinker. He'll cut the ball in on the lefties from time to time, but his best secondary pitches, the changeup and the curveball.
Marco Scutaro, the second baseman. Scutaro at 215, no homers and 4 RBI. He has already had a roller coaster start to the year. Beginning from the Giants' 3rd series of the year, Scutaro went on an 8-game hit streak, during which he batted .394. But since that 8-game run, he is just 5 for his last 37. Hard to left, base hit Scutaro.
Third baseman, number 48, Pablo.
Now, Scutaro for me has always been somewhat similar to Martin Prado. I think back to Paul LaDuca in his days with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hitters that are more effective with runners on base. Open some holes in the defensive infield. Play a little hit and run, start a runner, break up the defense. Scutaro has always been very adept at hitting with runners on base. Angel Pagan getting on at a .330 clip in that leadoff spot hasn't been doing him too many favors.
Here is the Panda. Pablo Sandoval had a huge series at Petco Park over the weekend, went 7 for 15 in the 3-game set. He's in there at .316, 3 homers and 19 RBI. Sandoval has had at least 2 hits in 5 of his last 7 games, and he loves this ballpark. Lifetime average here at Chase Field of .346 with 5 homers and 25 RBI in 35 games here. There's another guy that likes to hit with runners on base.
And a lot of times we'll say about a hitter, you don't have to throw him a strike to get him out. Well, that's the case with Sandoval, but he can hit pitches that are just about to bounce in the dirt. He hits pitches up above helmet level.
He's got that Vlad Guerrero strike zone.
Yeah.
1-2 now. Ian bringing the heat tonight.
Sneaky quick, 91 miles per hour, blows it right by a pretty good fastball hitter.
Great location too. Down and away like that. That'll get down into the gap in left center. Scutaro heads for third. Sandoval stops in first. Back-to-back singles here for the Giants with 1 out. Buster Posey up now, and Buster is taking care of business. The amazing rewards credit card from NBAZ. Learn more at NBArizona.com. Last 9 games, he is on a roll. A 9-game hit streak for Buster Posey. 12 for 30 over that stretch. 400 with 3 doubles, 3 homers, and 9 RBI. It was a very slow start for Buster, so he's in there at 286, 3 homers and 14 driven in. Before the 9-game hit streak, Posey was at just 213 without a home run. So over the 9-game run here, he's raised it up to 286. Not here, he doesn't.
Good stop there by Miggy. I've said it many times, there's no such thing as a bad block. It doesn't matter if you use the back of your shin guards or the umpire's chest protector. If you can keep that ball somewhere near home plate, it's been a good block. Sometimes the form isn't always perfect, but all you're really concerned about is results.
Inside, 2-0. Posey went 5 for 12 in the 3 losses in San Diego. The Giants lost those games 2-1. 8-7 and 6-4 over the weekend. So it's been a rough go here for Bruce Bochy's team. Going all the way back to the first series of the Diamondbacks, or first game of the Diamondbacks series last week. 2-1 now.
Pablo Sandoval on over there at first base. He's had some base running misadventures so far this year, going back, as you said, to the series in San Francisco against the D-backs. Got thrown out at home plate by about 85 feet. Had a couple of issues in that series with San Diego. Got thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double, and then got spooked a little bit and held at first base on what appeared to be a sure double. So Bruce Bochy's hoping that he can get his third baseman to commit a little more time to conditioning, maybe drop 10 or 50 pounds.
Either or.
Certainly doesn't affect his ability to swing the bat, but other parts of his game are starting to suffer because of the extra weight.
He's got an interesting take on all that. We'll get into it over the course of the game. He says he's got 2 more years to figure it all out before his metabolism essentially stops. 3-1 now. Ball 4, bases loaded with 1 out for the Giants here in the first.
Fielder number 8.
Bob Ian has some work to do here. Hunter Pence stepping in.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, but you can understand why he was pitching around Buster Posey. We gave you the numbers how hot he's been lately. Hunter Pence, on the other hand, not quite as hot lately. A guy that's more likely to chase pitches out of the zone, possibly hit you that double play grounder.
He will strike out. He has struck out right now 25 times in 100 at bats. Nice and even. So one of every 4 times up, Hunter Pence will swing and miss. And boy, that would come in handy right here. Pence 4 for 13 in the 3 games against the D-backs last week in San Francisco. He has hit in 13 of his last 16 overall, 277 over that span. Just 6 RBIs in those 16 games. Career numbers versus Ian Kennedy. Broken bat, center field, Parra backing up. Scudero will tag and score. 1-0 Giants. That one was muscled out there.
Carried a lot further than I thought it was going to. Broke his bat badly at home plate, but that ball carried a long way to center field. Easy tag and score for Marco Scudero. Sandoval went back to tag at second base. I thought he was going to try to go to third, but held his ground at second base. Parra was conceding the bag at third. He was just throwing into the bag at second to hold the runner at first.
So Sandoval stays at second, Posey at first, 2 outs, and here's Gregor Blanco. 1-0. Blanco 279, no homers and 4 RBI. He played in 2 of the Giants' 3 games at San Diego over the weekend and went 2 for 5. Two and 0. Last time out versus the Giants, Bobby and really did pitch well. That getaway day game last Wednesday. 4 hits and 6 with 4 strikeouts, 106 pitches. Here's the 2-0 now.
Saw Gerardo Parra make that catch out there in center field off the bat of Hunter Pence. He's got his throwing hand, his left hand, wrapped rather tightly. It looks like the kind of wrap that you would normally see for some kind of an abrasion on the palm of the hand or something. We're just speculating at this point. Obviously not serious enough to get him out of the lineup.
Well, the way he's always sliding around in the bases and crashing into shortstops and bases and dirt, it's no wonder he's got something wrong with a hand there. 2-1 now. Left field. Kubel won't get it. Here comes Sandoval. He will score. RBI single for Gregor Blanco, and the Giants take a 2-0 lead. Buster Posey stops at second.
Pitch was elevated up and out over the plate. Just a good piece of hitting by Blanco. You could almost see him raise up in that left-handed batter's box to get on top of that high fastball and tomahawk it into left field for an RBI base hit.
So it's still now first and second with 2 outs, and the batter is Brandon Crawford. Blanco at first, Posey at second. Crawford steps in. 291, 5 homers and 14 RBI. There's a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, some of the Diamondbacks starting pitchers have struggled in the first inning of games this year, but until today that had not been the case with Ian Kennedy. Opposing batting average of 118. He'd only surrendered 1 run in the first inning of his previous 5 starts.
Nice block by Montero. 1-1 now. Crawford 1 hit in 13 plate appearances in the 3 losses over the weekend. Crawford was 4 for 12 for the Giants in their 3 games against the Diamondbacks last week at AT&T Park, including that big home run off David Hernandez in the 9th inning of Wednesday's game before the D-backs came back to win it in 10. Great shot from behind the plate here. High drive to right field. Cody Ross is under it. Giants strand 2, but they get 2 against Ian Kennedy in the top of the first. Will go bottom 1. It's 2-0 San Francisco.
Francisco Giants. Giants get 2 in the first against Ian Kennedy, and now Arizona steps up with Martin Prado, Bob, back in the lineup and back in the leadoff spot.
Just trying to find a way to get Martin jump-started, hopefully putting him ahead of Gerardo Parra, the hottest D-back hitter. May get him some good pitches to hit. No real surprises otherwise in the lineup. Eric Chavez in the left-handed bat playing third base tonight. Cliff Pennington not carrying a great batting average, but man, has he saved some runs with that glove.
So we'll see if Martin Prado can get turned around here, and this is his walk-up. Watch the routine now for Martin. He goes through a whole thing here, and he will go directly behind the right-hand batter's box and then walk straight into it. It's sort of like Kung Fu Panda Light. And Martin Prado steps in against Matt Cain. It has not gone at all well so far this year for Matt Cain. Granted, he's received little to no run support, but he has not been the Matt Cain of old.
And Matt Cain starts this year. The Giants have been outscored 35-12. So you're absolutely right. He's not getting a lot of support, but not doing much with the support he does get.
Shortstop Brandon Crawford coming in. One away.
A little better start than his outing in San Francisco. Brandon Crawford made an error on the first ball hit to him in that game. Eventually scored, as did Martin Prado in that first inning at AT&T Park.
Here is the National League's hits leader, Gerardo Parra, beginning the day tied with Shin-Soo Choo and Starling Marte for the league lead. 32 hits in 25 games this year. And there is Matt Cain's lack of run support. Parra riding a 13-game hit streak. That's a career best and the best of the National League. He's at 320, a homer and 5 RBI, with 10 walks, getting on base at a 384 clip. First pitch swinging high in the air, right center. Who wants it? Pagan calls off Pence. 2 down. 2 quick outs there for Matt Cain. And with Paul Goldschmidt coming up, this is a great time to remind you that every time a Diamondbacks player hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes will donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Goldie taking a little more time than he usually would to get up to that right-handed batter's box. A couple quick outs, as you mentioned. Just make the Giants stand out there a little bit longer. Might take till he gets a strike in this at bat. We'll see how it goes.
1-0. Saw the numbers on Goldie. 305, 5 homers and 18 RBI. He was 1 for 4 here yesterday. Singled and scored a run. Career against the Giants, 370. 3 homers and 14 RBIs in 15 games. And no, he's not facing Tim Lincecum, but we expect to see big time Timmy Jim in Wednesday's game against Brandon McCarthy. The short hair, the new look, looks a little like Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
I think.
especially when he wears his glasses.
2-1 now.
There is no truth to the rumor that Goldie sent a limo to the airport to pick up Tim Lincecum when the Giants got to town. He rode the bus with the rest of the team.
Make sure he's comfortable. Some snacks sent to the hotel room. That one buckled Goldie a little bit. 2-2. D. Baxter's got a good seat as always. How come the mascot who has no thumbs is on Twitter and you're not?
Watch out.
Upstairs. No, he did not go, Bill Miller. So Goldschmidt is running full here.
Yeah, Cain has had some mechanical issues. Talking to former Giants great Mike Krukow in the booth right next door to us doing the TV games for the Giants, said Cain has had some mechanical issues pushing the ball toward home plate.
Ball 4, 2-out walk.
And rather than finishing his pitches, really reaching out to his target, he kind of gets his elbow in a lower slot than normal, and the ball this doesn't explode out of his hand the way it has in the past. There's Mike Krukow, always flipping that baseball in the booth.
Right next to us here, broadcast row at Chase Field. Chance now for Miguel Montero. Miggy 3 for 10 on the homestand so far, 417 on base percentage. And they're at 207 on the year, 10 RBI. Inside 1-0. Miggy on base twice here yesterday against the Rockies. Had a single and a walk. He was also on base twice in Saturday night's game here. So he's been coming around. He's hit safely in 5 of his last 6, 5 for 23 over that span.
Now, Miggy's been making much more solid contact. Some of his issues during his struggles, he told us he was swinging at bad pitches, taking the good pitches. Been much more aggressive on pitches in the strike zone and has had a better eye on those pitches out of the zone.
Goldie is back. Matt Cain's contact rate for pitches in the strike zone much higher this season compared to his career averages, and that speaks to command. Control the ability to throw pitches for strikes. Command the ability to make the ball move, put the pitch exactly where you want it within the strike zone, and that seems to be one of Cain's issues this year. Left field, Blanco. Diamondbacks get a runner. They strand one. We're through one. It's 2-0 Giants. Baseball is brought to you in part by Ram Trucks, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and by Gila River, another proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The aptly named Horseshoe Bend. Ian Kennedy bent a little bit in that first inning, gave up 2 runs against the Giants, and we're set for the top of the second inning. Brandon Belt, Matt Cain, and Angel Pagan, 8-9-1. Ian allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in that first. And here's Brandon Belt, Bob, who's batting 8th. That's the first thing that jumped out at me tonight looking at the lineup. I got Belt hitting 8th.
Well, he hasn't had much success in the past against Ian Kennedy. That could be a possible explanation. Only 2 for 15 with 9 strikeouts in those 15 at bats. So Bruce Bochy trying to hide him down there in that 8 spot tonight.
He's behind 0-2 now. Belt started all 3 of the Giants' losses at Petco Park, went 3 for 11. He's hit in 5 of his last 6, 389 over that span, 7 for 18. He's done well against the Diamondbacks. This guy caused a lot of problems late in games last week at AT&T Park. Had some big hits. Brandon Belt, born in Nacogdoches, Texas, went to Hudson High School in Lufkin, Texas, and eventually Texas and Austin. He's a Longhorn, but drew the interest of several major league clubs, both in high school and junior college. He was drafted a bunch of times. I think it may be time to hand out a contract here.
Slicing foul ball to that third base side, and look at that leaping catch. Caught his hat at the same time. That deserves a contract right there.
That is on its way.
Nice.
2-2 now. Dale Scott calls time behind home plate.
Of course, with the honorary contract, you get 4 free tickets, dugout box seating area, and 30% off at the team shop. How about that?
2 for 15, as Bob mentioned, for Belt against Kennedy. Right field, hit well, and that one is gone, a home run. Brandon Belt, a solo shot, his second of the season, and it's 3-0 Giants. This guy has been a pain in the neck.
Kirk Gibson would probably say he's been a pain in another part of the anatomy, but another mistake. Belt, high fastball to Belt, inside part of the plate. He did not miss it.
Matt Cain. The only question was, would it stay fair? And it did. Belt's second of the season, and now it's 3-0 here. Matt Cain to right. There's Cody Ross, one away.
It's not uncommon to see Ian Kennedy throw pitches up in the zone. We talked about it earlier. He does it by design many times up above the top of the strike zone, but he was making mistakes in that belt to the letters area. That's when he can get hit really hard. He's made some mistakes there already in this game.
Here's Pagan. Looks at ball one. He struck out to begin the game. Look at the location here.
Yeah, I mean, you scoot this pitch up another 6, maybe 8 inches up there above the letters. He might swing at it anyway, but not be able to do damage. That one belt high inside part of the plate, and he knew what to do with it.
One and one now. Angel Pagan, a key member of Puerto Rico's World Baseball Classic team, helped lead them to the championship game. He hit .364 in 9 WBC games, 12 for 33 in that series, as Puerto Rico lost to the Dominican Republic in the title game. And he drives it to right field. Cody Ross giving it a look at the wall, and Cody has it. Little Spider-Man routine for Cody Ross.
Cody knew exactly where he was on the field, could feel that warning track under his feet. He knew he had about one more step before crashing into the barrier. Able to catch the ball and then kind of protect himself on that padded area at the bottom part of the wall.
Yeah, had that been hit a little further to the right and he had to dive into that screen there, that would have been a lot more painful. Scutero singled and scored his first time up. 0-1. Marco Scutero, very difficult to strike out. The hardest batter to strike out in the National League last year. While he was playing in a Giants uniform last season after the trade from the Rockies, he swung and missed at a pitch only 15 times. He will make contact, and as Bob was saying earlier, that's why he's such a great two-hole hitter.
Well, just another feather in Patrick Corbin's hat so far in the early going this season. He did strike out Marco Scutaro back in that series at San Francisco.
It was an event.
Yeah, it's just doesn't happen very often. It's an oddity.
Ball 4. Second walk of the game issued by Ian Kennedy.
Well, not a good time to issue your second walk in front of Pablo Sandoval and possibly Buster Posey here with 2 outs in the inning.
So here is the Panda. Singled and scored back in the first. 40 pitches already for Ian Kennedy, 22 for strikes. Pablo Sandoval funny about his weight issues. He said this spring that he's got this year and next year to adapt new diet and health habits. So in his mind, he's good for another 2 before things have to change. And he does admit that he needs to learn. He says you need to grow up, you need to step up and know the difference between what you can do and what you can't in terms of the offseason. And he realizes that when he gets to 30 years old, he turns 27 in August, by the way, his metabolism will slow and he'll be flirting with 300 pounds every year, and he can't have that. Nice scoop by Miguel Montero. He saved 90 feet right there.
Yes, he did. That's a tough pitch to get in front of. It's actually behind Pablo Sandoval by the time Mickey gets over there. He's kind of stuck his glove out there hoping for the best. I don't think he even realized he had it in his mitt. But he holds Scutaro at first base.
Sandoval was listed on the Giants spring roster at 262, which was 22 pounds over his usually generous playing weight. And Bruce Bochy said about Panda's weight issues this spring, he said, I don't think that question will ever go away. Every winter he goes home to Venezuela, where he's terribly popular and has a good time, but this offseason he kind of overdid it. He was ordered to drop the weight, and somehow he did. Bruce Bochy said, to be honest, I'm not sure how he did it. 2-2 now. Bochy was telling him, look, you're on the bench until you get in better condition, and he did. Now that's not going to help the cold stone.
Not
that's
at all.
not. Yeah, that's, see, that maybe in the off season that's fine, but that stuff is good though. Two and two. Center field, Parra. Drifting over toward left, still drifting, and he's got it. And that ends the inning. Cody Ross flying into the outfield wall. Brandon Belt hit one over that wall. And it's made it 3-0 Giants here as we go to the bottom of the second. Most affordable beer in all the major leagues, the $4 cold beer here at Chase Field. And I think, you know what, after that first 2 innings, I think we've earned one.
I'll buy.
Nice. Former Giants great Cody Ross steps in against Matt Cain to start the Diamondbacks second. Ross, Kubel, and Chavez here, 5, 6, and 7. Cody in there at 278, no homers and 8 RBI. He was 1 for 4 in the Rockies series finale, had an RBI single in the 5th. Cody has hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games, 8 for 29 over that stretch, 2 doubles, a triple, and 6 RBIs. Straight up in the air. Scooter up. Time now for our AT&T Twitter poll question. Which struggling pitcher is the biggest surprise? Just put hashtag FSAZ in front of either Cain, Price, Hamels, or Dickey. And send us your vote on the Twitter at Fox Sports AZ. BB, care to weigh in?
I think one of the first two, either Matt Cain, and I'm going to go with Cain just because I've seen him more than I've seen the other guys. I'm not really surprised by Dickey's struggles in the early going. You know, he's pitching at Citi Field, and the jet fumes really made that knuckleball dance around.
Rogers Center's not quite the same.
Very
that
sterile.
Yeah.
Don't have the circling, swirling winds to deal with, which really help a knuckleball pitcher.
It is lovely in Queens when they have, you know, the fires outside the automobile chop shops and planes over your head landing at LaGuardia taking off. It's a beautiful setting. Here's Jason Kubel. Yeah, hit it right there. Sure. Fresh off the DL as of just before yesterday's game.
Yeah, Jason even admitted he was a little overamped, just swinging at pitches that he normally wouldn't chase yesterday, but it's good to see him back in the lineup. You know he's going to do a lot of damage before all is said and done.
2-1 now. Staying away, it's 3-1. Jason strained his left quad April 5th at Milwaukee during that play in which he scored from second on the wild pitch at Miller Park. The Kubel Libres, they're excited to have their guy back.
Yeah.
Sure. Ball 4. Second walk of the game for Matt Cain. 1 out base runner for the D-backs.
Third baseman, number 12, Eric Chavez.
Eric Chavez playing third base tonight. Getting the start there for the second day in a row here. He was 1 for 3 yesterday. Chavez 235, 3 homers, 8 RBI. I like Dale Scott's mechanic, as the umpires call it. He's got a good mechanic when he signals for that strike. Just kind of gives you the point. Veteran Dale Scott behind the plate. There it is. 0-2. Let's check out the umpires. In fact, Dale Scott has the plate. Bill Miller at first. C.B. Bucknor at second, and Todd Tishner. Well, I didn't even get to the third base guy. You're already upset about CB here. See, you and your. Here we go with the robot umps again. You can have CB Bucknor umpire your game, or you can have a robot.
Oh, I'll take a robot 8 days a week.
But will the robot bring you all that CB does?
I hope not.
Set you up nicely for that one. You're welcome. 1-2 now. Foul.
So far in the early going, looks like Cain has a better breaking ball than we saw at any of his deliveries in San Francisco. Really struggled to throw that pitch around the strike zone. Bounced a lot of them way out in front of home plate. Hung a lot of breaking balls up above the belt. Looks like he's got a little crisper break on that pitch tonight.
To Belt. They'll get to play Kubel at second. Chavez beats it up the line. Brandon couldn't get possession of that one, so he's not able to step on the bag at first. Kubel is forced, and Chavez is on with 2 outs.
A couple of hard hit balls in this game right at Giant defenders. That one on a short hop belt, just able to knock it down. Plenty of time to get the force at second, but Chavez able to beat Matt Cain over to the bag at first. He'll reach on a fielder's choice.
So 2 outs, man on first for Cliff Pennington, who steps in with the High Sox again. Cliff has really embraced the whole High Sox thing. I think this is his 3rd day in a row. Bob, you were talking about the Matt Cain breaking ball. The slider has always been his big out pitch in recent seasons. This year, however, it's the slider that's been getting pummeled for Cain. Opponents last year hit 188 against Matt Cain's slider. This year, they're hitting 355 against what had been his put-away pitch. Pennington hard to right. That one gets down the line. Chavez takes the turn and heads for third. Pennington wants second, and he's in there with a stand-up double. Second and third, 2 outs for the Diamondbacks.
4th double of the year for Cliff Pennington. Always good to see a guy that's putting in a lot of extra work have some positive reinforcement. Cliff Pennington has probably taken as much extra batting practice as anybody on this Diamondbacks roster. First at bat of the game, gets a pitch to his liking and hooks it down into that right field corner for a 2-out double.
Now you have to hope that Ian Kennedy can just get the bat on the ball here and bloop one or drop one in. Ian is 0 for 10 on the year so far with 5 strikeouts. 0-1. You a DH guy?
No.
All right. This is why I'm not pro DH. I'm not anti DH. If you told me that the National League is going to start with a DH tomorrow, I think I could live with it.
Well, I feel the same way. If they did away with the DH in the American League, I could live with that. I just think it changes the strategy of the game so much. Granted, I don't like to watch pitchers hit that much, but I do like to watch managers manage late in a ball game. It's not uncommon to see an American League game and it's the 5th inning and it's 8-7 and both starters are still in the game. National League, you're going to have decisions to make when that pitcher spot comes up.
Well, the American League DH supporter would tell you that oftentimes those decisions are essentially common sense and really the situation dictates and almost makes the decision for the manager.
No, see, that's the easy way. There's no decision to be made in the American League. Any decision is tougher in the National League.
Oh. Swings at one in the left-hand batter's box, and the Diamondbacks strand 2. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Due up for the Giants. Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, and Gregor Blanco as we start the 3rd. for the Memorial Day doubleheader as the D-backs take on the Texas Rangers. Some interleague intrigue. Games are at 12:40 and 6:40. And you can spend the entire day right here with us at the ballpark. Enjoy the outdoor street festival in between games. Plus, when you buy tickets for both games, we'll give you free D-Bucks that you can use at food and concession stands. Call us right now, 602-462-4600, or log on to dbacks.com/doubleheader. That'll be fun, Buck.
Can't beat that.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here all day anyway, but I mean, might as well play two.
Might as well play two.
Buster Posey. Hard down the left field line. Foul. Posey walked his first time up. Last year, Buster Posey, first player since Frank Robinson in 1966 to win a league MVP, batting title, and World Series in the same year. Pretty good deal. The only other guys ever to do that: Dick Groat, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Stan Musial, and Joe DiMaggio. He's in good company.
Oh, that's great company. Wow.
League MVP, batting title, and World Series all in one season. Another nice block by Miguel Montero. It's 2-2 now. Buster, 25 years old. That made him the youngest player to win an MVP award since Ryne Sandberg in '84.
Well, you just knew this guy was something special. I mean, he had a cup of coffee back in the 2009 season, came up and played 7 games at the end of the season. That one gets right in his kitchen. Tough play for Chavez. He's just going to have to eat it. But the following year in 2010, he played 47 games at AAA Fresno, was just tearing up the Pacific Coast League. When they called him up to the major leagues, he immediately went into 4th spot in the lineup, catching the best pitching staff in all of baseball. And Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, just let him have all the responsibility of calling the game, as I said, for the best staff in baseball. Not many guys get the opportunity to do that, but Buster Posey took that opportunity and ran with it.
Hunter Pence drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his first time up. Takes it to right. Cody Ross chasing. That's a foul ball. Hunter Pence avoided arbitration in January, signed a 1-year, $13.8 million deal. He is eligible for free agency after this year. So this is going to be an interesting call for the Giants front office. Said he'd like to be here, he'd like to stay, would like a long-term deal. And if you're wondering, he's 29. No, he's 30, just turned 30 about a week ago. There's the changeup.
Oh, just a devastating pitch.
Hunter Pence 4 for 14 in the Giants World Series sweep of the Tigers. He scored 3 runs in 4 games. Hit just $179 in the NLCS against St. Louis. Played in all 7 games. Went 5 for 28. Hard to third. Chavez. Can they roll it here? Prado. They turn it.
All the necessities: a hard hit ball, a good clean feed over to Martin Prado, good turn at second base, just like you draw it up.
2 outs, bases empty for Gregor Blanco. RBI single in the first. Blanco in left field tonight. Ian Kennedy, just like all these D-back starters, Bob, he's ready to go. As soon as he gets it back, let's throw it. They all have that same consistent pace. Not a lot of lingering, not a lot of walking around, doing circles around the mound. Get it, throw it.
That's a wise approach, if you ask me. You want to keep your defenders on their toes. You want to keep them engaged in the game, expecting the ball to be hit to them.
Kennedy will play it on a hop. Got to hurry. Blanco, good speed. They get him up the line. We'll go bottom 3. It's 3-0 Giants.
Obviously hitting in the top of the lineup and playing every outfield position, and you know, he does so many different things. He does play with a lot of energy. He can steal some bases. He has obviously some power, some doubles, some homers, and you know, has great ABs as well. So he's been huge for us this year.
He makes the team better. I mean, some way, somehow, playing different, running in the bases, throwing somebody out, hitting. I mean, he just makes the team better. He's a high energy guy. He plays the game hard, and he makes things happen.
Gerardo Parra, the subject of tonight's Geico quote of the game, and obviously the 13-game hitting streak and the great batting average front and center, but really what this guy has done in the outfield, in the leadoff spot, and more importantly in that clubhouse. He is one of the guys that brings a lot of energy, but you know, it has a lot of fun, but don't mistake that for being a guy that's easy to compete against. He is one of the most fiery competitors they have on this club, and he's doing a great job so far this year, guys.
He sure is, Brad. He is bringing the want. And that's what you got to do. Bring the want. His uniform is usually dirty by now. It's already the third inning.
Oh, it won't be long.
1-1 to Martin Prado to lead off the Diamondbacks third here. Martin Prado to left. That's going to drop in. Base hit. Leadoff spot. Getting them going here. It's still, Bob, unusual just to see him hit the ball to left field.
Teammates giving it to him from the dugout over there. Everybody's aware that Martin has not put up the kind of numbers that he expected or his teammates expected, but we got a long way to go. And with his approach and his professionalism, I think by the end of the season, he's going to be right where he needs to be.
Gerardo Parra flied out his first time up, riding a 13-game hit streak. 2 for 4 here last night, a single, a triple, and 2 runs scored. During the streak, Parra, pardon me, at .333, 17 for 51. Make that 52 now with his fly out in the first. So 17 for 52 with 10 runs scored. Straight up in the air, left side. Sandoval may have a play here. Posey after 2, and the Panda has it.
Thought there might be just enough breeze blowing around inside Chase Field to push that one up into the bleachers, but Sandoval able to come charging in from his third base position and make a basket catch right in front of our camera position down there.
Hey, Miami Vice. Crockett, Tubbs, the whole thing.
I've been raiding Don Johnson's closet.
Does Don Johnson know you raid his wardrobe? Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Well, it could be like a dinner jacket kind of a thing. I remember on Gilligan's Island, Thurston Howell III would break out the white dinner jacket from time to time.
Very nice.
You know, it was only going to be a 3-hour cruise, but you never know.
Ginger or Marianne?
Here's the 0-1.
The way I look at it, you're on a deserted island. The choice is really not yours. It's Ginger's and Marianne's.
I've lost control of the broadcast. It's my own fault. It's my own fault.
Goldie needs to hit a home run to get us back in the groove here.
All right, calling for the home run in 3, 2, 1. Bring him up, sit him down. Second strikeout for Matt Cain.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
All right, Bob, here's Miguel Montero, and as you said, man, he is just absolutely snake bit. He drove a ball to the left field track his first time up that Blanco chased down. Even when he makes an out right now, it's a loud one as he tries to dig his way out of this thing. And in all fairness, over the last, say, 5 games, he should have at least 5 more hits than he's had.
I agree. He's hit the ball hard. He's had good at bats. Just not getting the results right now. But if you stick with that approach, eventually you're going to start finding some holes, start hitting some balls over guys' heads or out of the ballpark.
3 for 11 on the homestand so far. Comfortable seating here. Got the big screen TV. Barca loungers.
Nice.
You got a setup like that at home at the estate?
Not yet.
That's a game face. Miguel having a little discussion with Dale Scott here.
Yeah, many times that 3-0 pitch anywhere near the zone, it's going to be called strike one just to continue the at bat. There have been some studies done about that 3-0 pitch being called a strike, and more often than not, it's not a strike. See, a lot of hitters, we've seen some high leg kicks with the front leg or raising up on the front toe. Miggy gets both feet involved in his swing. He kind of shuffles his weight forward and then back onto the back foot and then back onto the front foot again. It's just a timing mechanism that he uses, and occasionally it can get a little bit out of whack, but when he's right, he is perfect with that timing.
There goes Prado, swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts now for Matt Cain. We're through 3. It's 3-0 Giants.
Signing up at one of 16 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Arizona Diamondbacks regular season home game.
You get the signed game piece too, which is big.
That's big.
Usually the player signs the piece and you get to walk away with that.
It's good practice if you ever get called to play Plinko on The Price is Right. Drew Carey says, come on down. You can use this as like Plinko practice.
D-back Nation Boston strong here. Brandon Crawford, Brandon Belt, and Matt Cain in the Giants' fourth. Now I know what you're doing on your afternoons before the game.
This guy's been an unexpected offensive surprise for the Giants early in the season. He's a guy that they just count on to go out there and make all the plays at shortstop, anchor that infield defense. But hitting not only for average but for power early in the season.
Yeah, got off to a great start offensively, Brandon Crawford. He has had a tough go as of late. 1 hit in 13 plate appearances in the 3 losses at San Diego over the weekend. The whole team is really scuffling offensively coming in. They're 5-8 in the row this year. Giants hitting .214 with runners in scoring position over their last 10 games, only 15 for 70. But they have a 3-0 lead here. It's full 3-2. Brandon Belt is on deck. He homered his last time up. You can see the great start that Brandon Crawford had this year as opposed to last year. He's gotten better offensively every season, and his defense, especially the second half of last year, spectacular. And he's battling Ian Kennedy here.
Boy, position players will tell you that first 100 at bats, maybe 150 at bats, to get your numbers at a respectable level. You know you're going to have peaks and valleys over the course of the season. A guy like Brandon Crawford will probably have 600 plate appearances before all is said and done. And when you struggle through those first 100 at bats or so of the season, it takes you all season to get your numbers back to respectability. Getting off to a fast start like this will buy him a little bit of cushion later in the season.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. We'll do it again. Some Giants fans here. Ball 4. No, you ring him up. Dale Scott, little delayed mechanic there. Second strikeout for Kennedy.
First baseman Brandon Belt.
Good location on that fastball. He misses his spot across the plate, but still gets it on that inside corner at the knees. Crawford just couldn't pull the trigger on that one. He'd been fouling off every delivery Ian Kennedy threw up there. Couldn't pull the trigger on that one.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Mike Murphy sitting on the bench there. He's been the clubhouse attendant for the Giants since they invented baseball.
Wow.
He was a bat boy when the Giants moved west in 1958. Later became the head clubhouse guy for the home side, and he is like everybody's daddy. Murphy's seen a lot of good ones come and go.
Including you.
I said good ones.
Brandon Belt pretty good last time he was up. He hit his second home run of the year off Ian Kennedy. And this guy has been a thorn in the Diamondbacks side. He's hitting basically just against the Diamondbacks. Everyone else under 200. 5 for 8 with 2 home runs. This was the second back in the second.
And numbers like that against one team when you struggle against everybody else will make you revisit your scouting report. It's either a bad scouting report or your pitchers aren't able to execute the scouting report. One or the other.
Well, Ian Kennedy said this spring that one reason he wasn't quite as sharp last year as 2011 was the lack of consistency with the stuff, and sometimes the command and location would be there, other times not so much, and that would change from pitch to pitch. Some days the fastball would be up, other days the breaking ball wasn't crisp. High in the air, center field, Parr is there. And he does catch it, 2 down. But instead of recognizing, Ian, maybe that one particular pitch wasn't working as well as it might, and altering his game plan in the middle of an outing, Ian would just keep going and try to force the pitch or pitches that weren't working as well as they normally do. And he said he viewed that as immaturity on his part, not to realize what was going on and make the necessary adjustments during the games. Matt Cain lined out to right his first time up. Hard to third, Chavez. 3 up, 3 down for Ian Kennedy. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. D-backs trail at 3-0.
Pepsi Grab and Go concession stand outside section 104. Look for the QR and scan your chance to win great prizes and find all your favorite Pepsi products.
So you grab it and you go.
And you go.
Look, that guy, he grabbed, and now there he goes. Because we get you right back to your seat. No waiting. You're grabbing, you're going the whole thing. Three-0 Giants here as we start the bottom of the 4th at Chase Field. Cody Ross, Jason Kugel, and Eric Chavez against Matt Cain, who has struck out the last 2 he's faced. And Bob, for a guy that's supposedly struggling, Matt Cain's only given up 2 hits. He's kind of settled in here.
He looks a lot different than the Matt Cain we saw last week in San Francisco. Made a lot of mistakes with his fastball up in the zone. I mentioned it earlier. His breaking ball was just kind of rolling up to the plate, but everything's a little more crisp tonight.
Drops it in there on Cody. 0-1. Cody popped up to second his first time up. And this was the no decision Tuesday at AT&T Park. Didn't pitch really badly there either. Didn't get any run support while he was in there. And that's been the story for Cain all year. In fact, he's only had 3 runs of support the entire season, and they've already scored 3 here in the game. So things may be turning around for Matt Cain.
Well, over the course of his career, when he's gotten 3 or more runs of support, his record is 73-9. The team record 89-27 when they score 3 or more for the Giants right-hander.
2-1 now. 3-1. Cody Ross 3 for 14 on the homestand so far. Had the big game-winning walk-off sac fly in the 10th against the Rockies. Pops it straight up, and this should get out of play. Ramtrucks.com pool area. They're out there. Let's see if they have any food. Oh, it's kids' night out of the pool. The whole gang is here. Pool safety, kids. Pool safety. Fun times at the Ramtrucks pool. Great place to watch a game here at Chase Field. They're very enthusiastic about that kid watches too much wrestling.
Yeah.
3-2 now. We'll do it one more time. Let's go back and see where we are. Yeah, see? They are really enthusiastic Diamondback fans here.
We don't know if they have food at the pool, but they definitely have coffee.
Well, I think they have food over there, and it's all sugar. I wonder how long they can actually keep this going. It's like Lord of the Flies out there. Cody to right. And another foul ball. So let's go back to the pool in 3, 2, 1. Now the parents, now we know where they get it from. It's the nachos. Oh, it's a rowdy bunch out at the pool.
Yes,
they're into it.
They're into it.
3-2. Ball 4. Leadoff bat on for the D-backs here in the 4th. That is the 3rd walk for Matt Cain so far.
I mentioned Cain's stuff is much crisper tonight than we saw at AT&T in San Francisco, but his location isn't much better. He's really fallen behind in the count. You mentioned 3 walks through the first 4 innings of this ball game already. Be patient. Get something you want to hit.
Jason Kubel walked his first time up. I like this matchup a lot right here. Hang a slider, and it's 3-2 just like that. Called it! Bob Bradley! Called it! Called it! Gone!
Nice.
Booyah! That's a Fulton home run. Another $150 goes to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. That's the money shot for Jason Kubel.
I will nitpick, though. That was a fastball.
Oh, come on, man. You're killing my buzz, Brentley. Chavez. You know, in fairness, we've tried that about probably a dozen times this year, and that's the first time it's worked.
He shoots, he scores. Nice job, partner.
Whatever works, man. It's a whole new ball game. Matt Cain has been giving up home runs, and here's another look.
Well, this is why you love Jason Kubel in that lineup against those tough righties. He just absolutely smoked that ball to right field. A lot of hang time. Looked like a nice catch out there, too.
Schabe goes to left. Blanco backing up, looking up, and that one's gone. Back-to-back home runs, and the Diamondbacks have tied it up. That's another Fulton home run and another $150 to Central Arizona Mountain Rescue. Kubel and Chavez back-to-back in a 4th.
4th homer of the year for Chavez. The second one going to the opposite field. I didn't realize Eric Chavez had that kind of opposite field power, but he backspins that tailing fastball or changeup out over the plate. Got a lot of carry just over the wall in left field.
Cliff Pennington doubled his last time up. So it's a 3-3 game here. And we had mentioned that Matt Cain looked like he'd settled in and was rolling along. And Cliff Pennington gets one up in the air to right. Hunter Pence at the track, and that one is caught. We can't get the trifecta. One away here in the fourth. Didi thought that was gone.
Boy, made a great sound off the bat. Similar trajectory that Kubel got on his drive to right field.
Didi's like, what's the deal? You're supposed to hit it out. Get with the program. Cliff gave it a ride, though. Boy, Matt Cain's got to be shaken up now. This guy's been in every big situation, but that's just 3 straight pitches that were all yanked. Here's a stat for you. Giants pitchers have now allowed 27 home runs in 26 games. 23 of those home runs have been given up by Giants starters, including now 8 by Matt Cain. Matt Cain has given up 8 home runs this year.
Ryan Vogelsong right behind. He surrendered 7.
23 home runs allowed by Giants starting pitchers, 8 by Matt Cain. Kennedy to short. Crawford. Kubel a 2-run shot. Chavez a solo shot. 3-3 in the fourth. Here's Prado, who singled his last time up. Martin Prado, a career .296 hitter in the leadoff spot. He's got more than 600 career plate appearances batting leadoff, so it's something he's certainly comfortable with. In fact, other than batting second in the order, where he's hit more than 1,600 times, Prado has hit leadoff more frequently than any other spot in the lineup.
That's one thing I could never really get my head around. I mean, I understand if you hit first, second, or third, you're going to get an at-bat in the first inning every night. Right. That's why you put your best hitters up there at the top of the order. You want them to get more at-bats than the guys that maybe aren't such good hitters. But it doesn't really change what you do at the plate. You know, you're still going to try to get a good pitch to hit and hit it hard. Try to lay off those borderline pitchers' pitches.
Well, I would suggest that the guy that hits second in the order, as Martin has all season long, and we've seen him do that so often with either Parra or Pollock on ahead of him, might have a slightly different job description than any other spot in the lineup, only because of that situation.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And like that, you got to tomahawk it to right. And I also hear, or am told, that batting 8th in the National League is especially difficult. Now, why do people always say that?
Well, there will be situations in the game because the pitcher's hitting behind you that you're expected to maybe expand your zone a little bit if there's runners in scoring position, close game late. If you know that pitcher's coming up behind you, you may have to expand your zone a little bit to try to do.
Martin Prado! Gone! 3 Diamondbacks home runs in the inning, and it's 4-3 Arizona. Keep the line moving is one thing. This is something else. That's another $150 from Fulton Homes going to Central Arizona Mine Rescue Association. Prado 2 for 3.
Very short stride that time. Very abbreviated, quick swing through the zone. Those are usually the kind of swings that produce home runs. Get the bat to the ball quickly, get the barrel on it, and they're having fun in the pool.
3 Diamondbacks home runs in the inning. Cliff Pennington gave it a ride to the track and right as well. And Matt Cain, who's been susceptible to the long ball all year long, has given up 3 in the inning. Here's Gerardo Parra, the National League's hits leader. Parra with a 13-game hit streak. He has flied out and fouled out. He's 0 for 2. Boy, it's a funny game, Bob.
It really is.
Matt Cain had given up only 2 hits. He had struck out the last 2 he faced to end the third. He appeared to be settling into a nice rhythm. And this inning has gone walk, home run, deep fly ball, ground ball, home run. And this is a real issue for Matt Cain this year, the home run ball. Parra strikes out. 4th of the game for Cain. But in this 4th inning, Jason Kubel, Eric Chavez, they go back to back. And then Prado follows as well. 3 home runs in the inning. We're through 4, and it's 4-3 Diamondbacks. Prado's 4th. And it's a whole new ball game. Ian Kennedy quickly staked to a 4-3 lead. He'll face Pagan, Scudero, and Sandoval here in the 5th. Kennedy has retired 6 of the last 7 he's faced. And this, Bob, is when you need the classic shutdown inning.
Absolutely. 3 quick outs, get your team back in that dugout, take advantage of the momentum that they garnered in that 4th inning.
Pagan has struck out and flied out. He's 0 for 2. Tell you what, not one of those home runs was a cheapie. What an addition that guy's been. Just having Chavez and knowing you can play him 2 days in a row or 3 out of 4. Pennington at short. And that allows you to move Martin Prado over to second or to left to fill in a hole. What an asset.
And that veteran left-handed presence in the lineup. We missed him when Jason Kubel was on the DL. Eric Chavez picked up some of that slack, and now with Kubel back, Chavez at third base against right-handed starters, they're going to do some damage.
Scudero's been on base twice, singled and scored in the 1st, walked in the 2nd. Base hit. He's been on base 3 times.
Hey fans, this Sunday it's the premiere of Cup of coffee with Steve Berthiaume. Ken Kendrick talks to Steve about being a baseball owner and what his plans are for that famous Honus Wagner baseball card. It's Cup of Coffee this Sunday at 4 on Fox Sports Arizona.
Got a great chance to sit down with Mr. Kendrick and talk baseball and business in the Valley in Arizona. And growing up in West Virginia, it's a fascinating story. Very interesting guy. He's done a lot. Pablo Sandoval singled and scored in the first, flying out in the second, 1 for 2.
How did you hold that one?
Did it hit him?
Well, Sandoval's not going to admit it if it did. I mean, that ball is way over in that left-handed batter's box. Gets by everybody all the way to the backstop, allowing Scudero to move up into scoring position.
I thought for sure it might have hit him, but there was nothing from Dale Scott. No, it never did. Yeah. So that is a wild pitch. Scudero to second. Left-hand side, that should get out of play. Sandoval hit a remarkable 500 in the Giants World Series sweep of the Tigers. Boy, what a year he had. 8 for 16, World Series MVP, 24 hits in the postseason last year. That's a Giants record. And of course, the big moment, Game 1. He joined Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, and Albert Pujols. Only men ever to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. Out of play, 1-2. On that list, Sandoval, the only player to hit those home runs in his first 3 at-bats of the game. It was also just the second ever 3-homer game at AT&T Park. The other, Kevin Elster. Like, we went from Babe, Reggie, Pujols to Kevin Elster all in one shot. That's a great thing about baseball. 1-2 now. That gets through. They'll wave Scudero. He's the tying run. Here's the throw from Cody Ross, and it's 4-4. There'll be no shutdown inning here in the 4th.
Doesn't have to be a strike. Sandoval goes down and golfs a pitch out over the plate and down, finds a hole on the right side of the field. This is where that wild pitch really shows up. Scudero able to come around and score from second base. Under normal circumstances, had he been at first, he probably has to hold at second. You still have the double play in order, and the Giants haven't tied the game.
There's Buster Posey. Sandoval now 14 for 27 with runners in scoring position and 17 RBI. Wow. Posey's been on base twice. He walked in the first, singled in the third. Gerald Dempsey Posey. Just turned 26 last month.
Didn't really start catching until late in his collegiate career. And it wasn't uncommon when he was playing at Florida State to start the ball game behind the plate and come in and be the closer. Clocked him as high as 94 miles per hour with his fastball.
He might get one to hit here on 2-0. Buster, born in Leesburg, Georgia, went to Lee County High School there in Florida State. He's a Seminole, as you said. First round pick in the 08 draft. 5th player selected. 4 guys drafted ahead of Buster Posey: Tim Beckham, Pedro Alvarez, Eric Hosmer, and Brian Mattis. As we play another episode of Revisionist Scouting. There's a strike, 2-1. And he can move some jerseys.
Yes, he can.
And for all that he's accomplished in baseball so far, Bob, it's easy to forget that Buster Posey has really still only played 2 full major league seasons. That seems amazing.
Well, it's just a fact, like I mentioned earlier, he came up in the minor leagues and was immediately an impact player. He didn't go through the growing pains that a lot of players go through at the major league level.
Posey on base for the 3rd time tonight. 1 on and or 2 on and 1 out here. Third walk issued by Ian Kennedy. He's now up to 84 pitches, only 49 for strikes, and Charles Nagy is out to have a conversation. I mean, he had retired 6 of 7 to end the 4th. He got the ground ball by Pagan to start the inning, so 7 of 8, and he appeared to be in good shape. But ever since, single walk, with a wild pitch thrown in between to move Scudero up into scoring position, and he came in on the Sandoval single. Hunter Pence has an RBI, sac fly in the 1st, hit into a double play in the 3rd. Doesn't get the call there. 1-0. Sandoval at second, Posey at first. There's a strike, 1-1.
We showed you a little bit earlier Miguel Montero's set up in the batter's box and how he shifted both feet. I always felt like if a pitcher could just get out there on the rubber and hold the ball as long as possible. Hunter Pence is wound so tight. He really gripping that bat. You can see him grinding his teeth in that batter's box. The longer you can make him wait, the tighter he gets, and the more tension you have in your wrists and forearms, the less chance you have of hitting the ball.
He is really strong. I said this before. If you stand around the batting cage and watch him take BP right there, you are amazed at the physical force with which he hits the baseball. He mashes it. And he looks kind of wiry, but when you see him in person, he's a huge guy. And it's because now he's on the caveman diet. Have you heard about this? He's on that paleo diet thing. It consists of eating only foods that were around for cavemen during the Paleolithic era. So if it didn't exist for the cavemen, you can't eat it.
I guess that eliminates Skittles.
2-2. Here's the inside move. It's fish. This is all you can eat on the paleo diet. And this is all that Hunter Pence eats. Fish, grass-fed meats, veggies, fruits, and nuts. No grains, dairy, or processed foods. Or cotton candy. No. That's also out. Cotton candy off, Skittles off. Pennington. Can they roll it? Prado the turn, and they got him. Another double play behind the Diamondbacks, Ian Kennedy, but the Giants get another run across. We'll go bottom 5. It's a good one here at Chase. 4-4.
Giants turn a base hit, a wild pitch, and a base hit into a game-tying 4th run. Bruce Bochy came out to argue the Hunter Pence double play that ended that inning, and eventually gets tossed by first base umpire Bill Miller. There's an argument that went on for a long time. You could clearly see Pence beat that ball by a considerable amount at first base. Bochy had a good argument there, but you're never going to win that one.
Ejected for the 58th time in his career. And so now Bruce Bochy will watch the rest of the game from the clubhouse here at Chase Field. Bottom 5 now. The Goldie jersey doing a lap around the ballpark. Goldschmidt, Montero, Ross here in a 4-4 fifth. Goldie has walked and struck out. Diamondbacks the previous inning, 3 home runs off Matt Cain. Kubel, Chavez back-to-back, Prado, 3 home runs in the inning against Cain. First time in Matt Cain's career that he's given up 3 homers in 1 inning. By the way, last time the Diamondbacks hit 3 or more homers in 1 inning, August 11, 2010 at Milwaukee. They hit 4 that day. That's still the club record. Paul Goldschmidt versus the Giants. His record makes him our APS Energy All-Star. Those are the numbers in 30 games. Ball 4, leadoff man on here in the 5th. That is the 4th walk of the night issued by Matt Cain. Ron Wotus is back there now.
Ron Wotus and I were actually teammates about 1 million years ago. AAA Phoenix.
In the Paleolithic era?
Yeah. We ate Brontosaurus burgers together.
Sure, who hasn't?
Yeah, Ron Wotus, one of those guys that every time a manager's job opens up, his name tends to get kicked around. Real good baseball guy.
Miguel Montero 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. That's the 16th walk of the season by Paul Goldschmidt. And for a guy that's the anchor of your lineup, the power hitter, so to speak, 16 walks shows great plate discipline. There goes Goldie. Here's the throw. He's in there. Stolen base for Paul Goldschmidt. Go ahead run in scoring position to start the 5th.
You mentioned all the walks Goldie has drawn already this year. I think it's just a fact that a lot of opposing teams refuse to give in to him. Everything is away, 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 away. Good jump over there at first base.
But the tendency then would be to chase a lot of bad pitches and dig a hole for yourself. And his strikeout levels are up this year, but he's managing to keep the on-base percentage up as well. What is it? Bunch of cats going after that ball down there? What was that all about?
We've got microphones everywhere.
1-1 now to Miguel Montero. This is a taco game.
Yeah, you can just feel it coming.
2-1. Miguel told me last season he really wasn't seeing the ball all that well to begin the year. Hit .257 for the first month of last year. Then .247 in May, so it was a slow start. And he said it wasn't a vision issue per se last year. For some reason, he just said, I just was having trouble picking the ball up out of the hand, and it wasn't a confidence issue. It wasn't a comfort problem. And he said he got a little frustrated, found himself overswinging up there. And as a result, the strikeouts went up. 97 Ks in 2011, up to 130 for Montero last year. Hard down the line, and that's a foul ball. The thing about last year that we saw with Miggy that's encouraging for this year is that he put it together after the rough first 2 months. 329 in June, 300 in July, 329 in September.
Well, the Best way I've heard it described for a hitter trying to pick up the ball quickly out of the pitcher's hand is to envision a box, almost like a TV screen, where that pitcher's arm is going to come through and where his release point is, and you kind of isolate that area. Unfortunately, what happens a lot of times when you're in a little bit of a funk at the plate, you find yourself looking at his eyes, you're looking at the defenders behind him, taking a peek at your batting average up on the board. You lose your focus on that area where the pitcher's hand is going to come through as he releases the ball.
And guys will say, you know what, I'm just not seeing it well right now. Another 3-2.
I mean, that's part of the reason guys watch so much video on opposing pitchers. They want to see his arm angle. They want to see where his hand is at the point of release. And then when they get up there at the plate during the course of the ball game, ideally you isolate that area and pick the ball up quickly out of his hand.
See if you can pick this one up here. Posey holds on. That's the strikeout. One out here in the fifth. 5 strikeouts for Matt Cain.
Felt high slider over the middle of the plate. Not a bad pitch to attack right there for Miguel Montero. Just got under it a little bit.
Cody Ross popped up in the second, walked and scored in the fourth. Came in on the Kubel homer. Play on at second. Cody Ross's 10th season in the big leagues, playing with his 7th different team. He wanted a place he could find to settle in, was looking for a 3-year deal, and had already lived in Scottsdale in the Valley for a while. So when the Diamondbacks called, he was overjoyed. Center field. Pagan giving chase. Pence a ticket now in right center. Goldie back. He will not tag up but stay put. Giants got that back in there quickly. 2 outs now here in the fifth. Pagan was running full steam over there toward the pool.
Left fielder,
Saw some miscommunication by the Giants outfielders at AT&T Park last week, but that time it looked like after Pagan conceded that Pence was going to make the play, took a peek back to the infield and let Pence know that Paul Goldschmidt was going back to tag up, and Pence got rid of it quickly and held Goldie at second base.
See if Kubel can get that run in here with 2 outs. He homered his last time up. Oh, where was that pitch?
A lot of tailing action out there on the outside corner. Looked like it might have been in the strike zone, but at the very end it kind of faded low and away.
Gets locked up inside there. 0-2. Good to have Jason back in the lineup after he was out on the DL with a quad injury suffered in Milwaukee. This is Jason Kubel, his last time up.
After you called it, he crushed it.
I like the matchup, man. Left-hand power hitter back in the lineup. Cain's been hanging sliders. He got the fastball and he did miss it. 1-2 now. The other way, right to the Pandas, over there all by himself, and he was in exactly the right spot. Diamondbacks get a run on. They can't get him in. 4-4 through 5.
Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you in part by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Jack in the Box, the Chipotle Chicken Club combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax.
She is taking a cab home. He is sleeping on the couch. That's a Giant fan and a Diamondback fan and an NL West marriage.
Can't we all just get along?
Blanco first pitch swinging. RBI single in the first. Tap back to the mound in the third. It's funny. They had a bit. They showed up at the ballpark with a bit. Well executed. Eye in the air, left side. Pennington running. He can cover some ground. Calling off Kubel. And look, Pennington does a nice job of tracking that one down. Now she's upset. He's happy. Oh, I've seen that face before. Yeah. She's. Is she? Is that her game face?
Wow.
That's nuts. That's not going to end well. But somehow they make it work.
Yeah, we've seen that face before.
Once or twice. Brandon Crawford 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. I feel like we should send Brad down there to not have a little therapy session, at least a sounding board. Everybody can, be in the moment and air their grievances, and we can work towards solutions.
A little ballpark counseling.
Because I like to think of us as peacemakers. See, she's talking smack. We lead the league in love. And I'm not sure we do in this case, however. You know that he's got to get way more grief than she gets. Because, first of all, he's the guy. Second of all, they've won a couple World Series here lately. So he's really got to be wearing it.
She's had bragging rights 2 of the last 3 years.
Crawford, Pennington is there. Busy inning here for Cliff Pennington at short. Now here's the face. Look. She's ticked off. But to his credit, he is openly just basically clapping in her face. I mean, he's not trying to hide it. He's out there wearing it. He's willing to take the heat.
She probably thinks Crawford should be hitting higher in the lineup. She looks like that kind of fan that knows.
Yeah, she does look like she knows what she's doing.
Who belongs where in the lineup?
Built 1 for 2, homered, back in the second. Now he's explaining himself, see? And then you got that look. Don't give me that look. I'm concerned.
Might be a good time for him to hit the old grab and go. Just give it a little bit of a break here.
Let's take a timeout.
Yeah.
Or the jewelry store, one or the other.
Might be a good idea.
Crushed to right, Cody Ross. That's the face. He's up. She is sitting down. No, all right. Oh, they're back to the bit. She might be taking a cab home. We'll see. CenturyLink, your link to what's up next. Eric Chavez, he homered his last time up. We'll try and get to the bottom of this marriage thing, too. And Fry's Food Stores is back and ready to take you to a D-backs game. You can stop by this month's participating Gilbert Cox retail store or Fry's Food Store in Prescott Valley and enter to win 2 seats on the bus. You'll receive round-trip transportation to the D-backs game either May 25th or 26th. Registration ends May 13th, so hurry up. More information you can visit on foxsportsarizona.com. The Fan Express, apparently Pablo Sandoval has caught the bus out of here, and 23-year-old Nick Noonan is the new third baseman. Not sure why the Pandas had to come out of the game. We'll try and get the bottom of that for you. In the meantime, it's Chavez, Pennington in the pitcher spot here in the Arizona 6th. Chavez homered his last time up. Kubel and Chavez back-to-back homers in the 4th. The 2 of the 3 home runs the Diamondbacks hit in that 4th against Matt Cain. Prado had the other one. First time in his career, Cain has given up 3 home runs in 1 inning. That's a fair ball. Brandon Belt will flip to Cain, covering, 1 away.
Looked like that one had a chance to sneak down that first base line, but Brandon Belt, a couple of crossover steps, fields it in foul territory, but the ball bounced right over the base, realized he couldn't beat Chavez to the bag, so flips on to Matt Cain covering for the easy out.
Here's Cliff Pennington. He has doubled and flied out. Cliff was on base twice here yesterday, had a single and a walk and scored a run. Now I'm told, Bob, in our efforts to smooth things over out there with our bickering NL West couple, that Brad is down there. Brad, what are they actually are they getting along? I mean, give us some reason for optimism here.
Well, let me preface this by saying I'm not a licensed marriage therapist, but I'll give it my best shot. AJ and Susie, you guys obviously have different allegiances here tonight. Ball driven deep to center field. How did this relationship begin?
Well, we actually met at spring training 3 years ago now. And yeah,
And you knew she was a Giants fan initially.
You know, very difficult for me. I grew up in Southern California. I was born a Dodger fan. And so the whole Giants-Dodger thing, I moved here in 01. We won the World Series, became a fan, been here ever since. And so when we met 3 years ago, it was very, very difficult at first.
So this is tough when this series rolls around like last week. How does it go around the house?
It's horrible. Horrible.
He is sleeping on the couch, I understand?
It is, every day.
It is. But she's going to have to take a cab home, so.
Now, you've got bragging rights right now. You guys, the reigning World Series champions. When the Giants won last year, how did you celebrate? How did you taunt him?
How did you taunt me?
I don't know. I don't think I did anything.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In your face?
I do.
At the moment, but then it kind of dies out pretty quickly. So, but that's usually what she does.
But the rest of the year, if the D-backs aren't facing the Giants, it's a lot of love in the household, a lot of happiness.
Yes. Yes.
Just this, like about 20 times a year, it turns into a slugfest.
Very difficult about 20 times a year.
And I love the signs. You know, we love the signs. And as you know, we lead the league in love. So hopefully, whatever the results this night, you guys can go home in a cab and sleep on a couch.
Yes.
All right, we'll send it to break here. The D-backs and the Giants tied at 4 apiece here as we head to the top of the 7th inning.
take on the Phillies at 110. Don't have a gift from Mom yet? Well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. The first 5,000 moms will get a custom D-backs tote bag, courtesy of Diet Pepsi. Get tickets now online at dbacks.com.
You know, the wife got one of those tote bags. I'm pushing the tote bags because, seriously, they're really nice. They look good. They have a great D-backs logo on the side. Nice black tote bag.
Leading off for San Francisco.
I'm a big fan of shampoo and conditioner and shower cap.
All right, I'm not sure how that relates, frankly, to
mints on the pillow. That's Mother's Day gifts, things you gather on the last road trip. Because we don't get a chance to get out and shop for Mom's Day, you know, so.
A shower cap?
You know, at the hotels, you got the shower cap.
So basically, you're stealing stuff from the hotel and presenting it as gifts.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Cain, his night is over. Hector Sanchez pinch hitting here for the Giants to lead off the 7th. Goes down and gets it, drives it to center. Parr is under it.
Ian Kennedy maybe earned himself one more inning in this ball game because of the 8-pitch inning in the 6th.
Brad Ziegler in the bullpen. Angel Pagan 0 for 3. He struck out in the first. Ian Kennedy at 99 pitches, 59 for strikes. Pagan will bunt. He's got good speed, and Chavez is right on the edge of the grass in a bit at third here. Creeping in. One and one. Angel Pagan, 4th round pick by the Mets back in the '99 draft. And he really made himself a critical piece of this Giants lineup, and he was rewarded in the offseason. They gave him a 4-year, $40 million deal as Tony Sippas joined Ziegler in the D-backs bullpen.
But he filled a need the Giants had in a big way.
3-1 now. Straight up in the air, left side. Kubel. 2 fly ball outs here in the 7th.
Second base.
Started out a little rough for Ian Kennedy tonight, throwing 45 pitches through the first 2 innings, but has really settled in after that, especially in the 6th and so far here in the 7th.
Yeah, the last hit he gave up was the Sandoval RBI single back in the 5th. Here's Scudero, who's been on base all 3 times tonight, 2 singles and a walk. He scored twice. He's got a little Josh Wilson in him up there with that stance from the Aaron Rowan school. Former Giants great. Another pop-up. Goldie coming in. Nice job there by Ian Kennedy, who has retired the last 7 he's faced. Will go bottom 7. It's a 4-4 game here at Chase. Chase Field, 4-4. Giants and Diamondbacks. Joe Borowski joins us here. Joe, boy, Matt Cain's been giving up the home runs all year, but this is something else.
For me, he doesn't look very comfortable out there at all. He's missing his spots and missing them a lot. You're used to seeing him have pinpoint control in and out, and he just doesn't look right out there.
And you said it, he's missing his spot from one side of the plate to the other. It's not like he's just missing the corners of the plate. He's missing by a wide margin.
Diamondbacks got 3 home runs off Matt Cain in 1 inning for the first time ever that's ever happened to Matt Cain, and now he is done. Gene Machi is in here. We saw him a couple of times in San Francisco last week. He will face the top of the order, Prado, Parra, and Goldschmidt. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Machi recalled from AAA Fresno on April 17th. He's made 4 appearances since. Allowed only 3 hits in those 4 outings. Prado, 2 for 3, singled in the 3rd, homered in the 4th. One of the 3 home runs in that inning off Matt Cain. Joe, you ever have an outing like that where it's just batting practice and boom, 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 they're hitting them out of the park?
I had more than a few outings like that. And it's definitely something you'd like to forget, but it's a recurring theme right now for Matt Cain, and this is something that after a while you're so used to seeing him be so good that you wonder maybe if it is something physical or not.
Speaking of struggling starting pitchers, let's answer our AT&T Twitter poll question. Which struggling pitcher is the biggest surprise for you? And 38% say David Price. What do you guys think?
Well, I said earlier, Matt Cain is a surprise to me just because I've seen more of Matt Cain than the other 3 guys. But I think if you had to rate those guys or pick a pitching staff, you'd probably start with David Price. So I imagine that's why our fans think that's the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I understand that too. And like you, Bob, having seen Matt Cain as much as we have, just seeing him go out and be as consistent as he has been over the years, you're very surprised by what you're seeing from him this year.
Parra, a 13-game hit streak, but he's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up. Giants have replaced Pablo Sandoval at 3rd base. Nick Noonan, as we mentioned last inning, came out to start the inning at 3rd for the Giants. There is Nick Noonan. And we're told Pablo Sandoval has had to leave the game with right elbow discomfort, and that's been an ongoing theme with him throughout spring training. The elbow has been an issue all year long, and it appears to be an issue again. So Nick Noonan is out there again at 3rd. 1-1 to Parra now. Joe, what do you got coming up with a postgame show?
Well, we're going to dissect a little bit about Ian Kennedy and the struggles he had in the 1st inning. You know, there were some things that I thought that he was doing a little bit too much of, and he seemed to correct it as the game went on.
What was the #1 thing that jumped out?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me, when you're facing a team after you faced them your last outing, I think there's a level of trying to adjust a little bit of your game plan and your patterns that you've attacked them in the past. And I thought he came out, and you know how Ian loves to just go out there and just throw his fastball. He wants to let you know, I have my fastball, I'm going to spot it. I think having seen the Giants only 5 days ago, he didn't mix up his other pitches early enough in this game.
Well, he was very consistent on that through spring training. I got to throw more curveballs. I know I got to throw more curveballs, but I don't really think we've seen it yet, have we?
No, and especially when you're seeing the team this quick after having seen them, you have to throw your secondary pitches earlier on in the game because they study the film. They know your patterns. They know what you're trying to establish. And he tried to establish his fastball, and he stayed a little too stubborn with it.
Parra strikes out. First strikeout for Machi.
Machi's got a nice split-fingered fastball to complement his heater. It was an occasional slider, but that is definitely his out pitch, the one he just got Gerardo Parra to chase.
Joe, is that a trust issue maybe for Ian or for any pitcher when you're trying to have a little more faith in that pitch and throw it more often?
Quite possibly, but a lot of times you got to realize a lot of pitchers are stubborn. You're doing something that you've been successful with and it's worked for you, and it's almost like things like this have to happen in order for you to be able to change and adapt to what you've grown accustomed to doing for so long.
Paul Goldschmidt has walked twice and struck out.
And with some pitchers, it does take a few innings before you have a feel for your secondary pitches. That could also be an issue with him.
One thing for Ian, though, I'm sorry, Bob, I was going to say he settled down nicely. He retired the last 7 he faced, and he threw 8 pitches in the 6th inning and exactly 8 in the 7th inning. So he really did settle in nicely. So it's good. That's a good sign. He had good stuff late and deep into his outing.
And I think that was a direct result of him having thrown his secondary pitches in those middle innings. So now they're not just sitting dead red.
Yeah, some of those secondary pitchers were real doozies, though. He threw a breaking ball that ended up behind Pablo Sandoval one time. He bounced a couple others out in front of home plate, but when he needed to make good pitches, he was able to do that after the first inning. There's that nasty splitter again. You can see that downward movement. That looks like JJ's when he's got it going. Arm speed like a fastball. Everything looks fastball, but the break on the pitch is straight down to the ground.
And on 1 and 2, that's the place to throw that pitch, too. But Goldie laid off. Here's the 2-2. Try it again. It's run full.
And once again, away, 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 away. They just don't want to make any kind of mistake from the middle of the plate in where Goldie could hit one up in Friday's Front Row Restaurant. Look at all those pitches. Away, away, away.
Well, the home run that he hit off Kane, I think it was Kane last time. Yeah, it was Kane. Was a hanging slider that was inner half that he turned on and hit it a mile at AT&T Park. High in the air, right-hand side. That'll get out of play.
And that's a lot of what impresses me about Goldie at such a young age is he understands what the opposing pitcher is trying to do to him in his at-bats. And he's not chasing those pitches that are just off the plate, which makes him that much more imposing as a hitter.
Yeah, we were mentioning that early. He's walked twice tonight. Now 16 walks on the year.
Yeah.
Tim Lincecum mesmerized. How do I get that guy out? I haven't figured it out yet. We'll do it again. 3-2 here with 2 outs. That time he did chase it. Gets away. Goldie insisting he. All right, we got a negotiation going on here. Dale Scott is not having any. Paul Goldschmidt is continuing the conversation. What's he saying?
He's saying he foul tipped the ball.
Does he get a piece of it? No. I don't think he did either.
Sometimes the best way to tell is to listen. A lot of times that's what the umpire decides on. I thought I heard a double.
I heard 2 bounds.
Double thud.
All right, well, it remains a strikeout. Kurt Gibson, hopefully he'll stay in the game. We'll be back right after this. Top of the 8th, 4-4.
Joe, thanks. Thank you.
Local sports coverage you can't find anywhere else. From tonight's game report from Jack Magruder along with Baseball Matters, and check out the Fox Sports Arizona girls appearance videos and pictures on foxsportsarizona.com. It's all right there for you. Brad Ziegler on to start the 8th here for the Diamondbacks. Ian Kennedy's night is over. 4-4 here as we start the 8th, and once again the call has gone out for Brad Ziegler.
When you get to this point of a tie ball game, you definitely want to keep it in the yard, and Brad Ziegler with that submarine sinking fastball should be able to get some ground balls here.
That's a fair ball down the left field line from Nick Noonan. Noonan will take the turn and head for second. Leadoff double for the Giants here in the 8th. In there for Sandoval. And his first career double.
Half of Nick Noonan's at-bats this year had been as a pinch hitter. 11 of his 22 before this at-bat had been off the bench. Takes advantage of getting a little bit of playing time here and slashes that one just inside the third base line for a leadoff double.
Here's Buster Posey, has singled and walked twice. He's been on base 3 times. First pitch swing into the gap in right center. Cody is there. Noonan will tag and head to third. Go ahead run 90 feet away with 1 out here in the 8th.
Right fielder Hunter Pence.
Here's Hunter Pence, has a sacrifice fly RBI back in the first. He's also grounded into 2 double plays, infield and on the grass. And that can't be a comfortable feeling with Hunter Pence up there. They've backed off a bit here. Right hand side is into the grass, left hand side back. There's the ball, 2-0.
Hunter Pence, a 143 hitter in these situations. Runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs.
Hard to first. Goldie spins, holds it. Noonan stays at third, 2 down. Great play there by Paul Goldschmidt.
Boy, outstanding play. Number one, you don't expect Hunter Pence to hit that ball that direction. Goldie playing in, didn't have a lot of range, but he used every bit of it to get to that ball, keep it out of right field, and hold the runner at third base.
So 2 outs now, and here's Blanco. RBI single in the first. He's 1 for 3. Now watch out for Blanco. He will do this little sneaky slap hit half swing thing up there. And he's really made it a trademark. He'll just kind of get a running start and try a little blue pitches to the shallow part of the outfield. And he'll use it especially if he thinks he needs a hit, if it's in a big situation. And this is exactly the kind of thing where he would try and do that right here. Swinging away. Foul ball. Blanco says he knows he can get hits with his little half swings, as he calls them. He says, I don't really practice it. To tell you the truth, I just try to use my speed, and he'll just slap at it and then take off up the line.
That's especially effective when you have the third baseman drawn in to protect against a possible bunt.
Two and one. Noonan stays put at third.
Omar Vizquel used to be very good at that particular offensive play. Kind of show bunt. As the third baseman would come charging in, he'd just punch it past him toward the hole between third and short, and then just outrun the throw to first base.
This spring, Blanco said he shortened up his swing, hoping to hit more ground balls and low line drives and create situations in which he can use his speed to a greater advantage. Ball 4, walked him. So Brad Ziegler will work to Brandon Crawford here. Crawford is 0 for 3, struck out back in the 4th. And with the way Brad Ziegler can generate ground balls, walking Blanco there after he got behind in the count is not the worst thing ever. Middle infield back now on the edge of the outfield grass. 1-0. Miguel Montero will go out to talk it over. Crawford's had some big hits against the Diamondbacks already this season. Big home run off David Hernandez in the 9th inning of Wednesday's game before the D-backs came back to win in 10. Had an RBI triple off Patrick Corbin in last Tuesday night's game. And he's got a chance to get a big hit here. Noonan is the runner at third. And Blanco with good speed at first. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Brandon Belt is on deck. He's homered already. Homered back in the 2nd off Kennedy. Two and 1. Bob Brad has thrown 13 pitches now, only 5 for strikes.
Very unusual that he throws that many pitches. We're used to seeing him come in out of that bullpen and in 4 or 5 pitches get through a quick 3-out inning back in the dugout.
He's had 3 one-pitch outings already this year. 3-1 to Brandon Crawford. Essentially all that matters is that you get the 1 out here. You don't want to have to face Brandon Belt with the bases loaded, obviously, after he's homered in this game. But whatever the formula is in terms of pitch selection and location to get the 1 out here. There goes Blanco. That got Dale Scott.
On that 3-1 pitch, Paul Goldschmidt had swung around behind Blanco at first base, so he got a big walking lead and just took off on the 3-1 pitch. Ball was fouled at home plate and obviously got a big piece of Dale Scott.
So Dale Scott will get a minute or 2 to collect himself here.
Couple of deep breaths. I think he's going to be okay. Dale Scott's a tough guy.
So it's a strike, and we're at 3-2 now. Crawford 1 hit in 13 plate appearances in their 3 losses at San Diego over the weekend, and he's 0 for 3 so far here tonight. Noonan at third, Blanco at first. Blanco takes off again. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks for Brad Ziegler here in the 8th. This was Brandon Belt in the 2nd against Ian Kennedy.
A pitch elevated on the inside part of the plate. Very little chance of that happening with Brad Ziegler on the mound in that submarine delivery. But Belt has been red hot against the D-backs this year.
And keep in mind, anything through the infield with Blanco's speed at 2nd is almost certainly 2 runs and not just 1 here. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Brandon Belt. He's homered and flat out twice. 1-0. Noonan at 3rd, Blanco at 2nd, and Crawford at 1st. She's smiling for the first time all night. Two and 0.
Well, it looks like the Giants are just not going to chase anything from Brad Ziegler unless it's up in the strike zone. You get a reputation with that sidearm sinking fastball. Ron Wotus, the acting manager, as Bruce Bochy's been ejected from this ball game, and boy, it sure appears like they're going to wait out Brad Ziegler until he gets something up they can handle.
Tony Sipp is up. Well, I guess that means a 2-seam fastball somewhere, at least lower half. If you're Brad, you got to throw it in the strike zone here.
Brad has been so good about getting those ground balls when he needs them, but in order to do that, he needs the hitter to cooperate and swing at some of those pitches down there around the knees with the sinking action.
Well, clearly they have a book and they have a plan, and they're working it here. 2-0 now. 3-0. Montero keeps it alive. There's a strike, 3-1. Up the middle, that will get in at least 2 here. Noonan scores. Here comes Blanco. No throw. 6-4 Giants.
I don't care if you throw it overhand, underhand, or behind your back. When you consistently fall behind in the count and put those hitters in situations where they can be aggressive if the ball is in the strike zone, they're going to get their share of base hits. Just a ground ball that found that big hole up the middle of the field. Oh, stifle it, Susie.
Did you just go Archie Bunker on us? A rough 8th inning for Brad Ziegler. 6-4, still going here. Back after this.
The big story in this week's action at the WPT Borgata Poker Open. Tune into the World Poker Tour presented by ClubWPT.com to watch as the chips fly and the remaining players battle for the title and more than $800 grand in first place prize money.
Was that your David Brinkley imitation?
Yes,
World
indeed.
Poker Tour.
Poker Tour.
All right, Tony Sipp, breaking news. 6-4, Giants lead now. And Tony Sipp will try and get that last out here. Andres Torres will hit in the pitcher spot. Torres, switch hitter, batting righty against the lefty Sipp. There's the strike, 0-1. The veteran Andres Torres, 35 years old. And once again, Brandon Belt is just killing the Diamondbacks. Inside. I mean, Belt is the quote-unquote power hitter type. First baseman, left-hand swinger. Power potential. But he's been scuffling so much he was batting 8th in the lineup tonight. But in this game so far and in the series last week in San Francisco, just killed Arizona. Big hit after big hit. And another one here tonight to make it 6-4. Straight up in the air over the infield. Prado wants it at second, and the inning is finally over. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Here's what's due up next for the Diamondbacks. Down 2 now as we head to the home half of the 8th. Jason Kubel. He's coming up. Much more after this. Roberts Air Conditioning, cool play, or in this case, plays of the game. Kubel and Chavez back-to-back in the 4th. 2 of the 3 homers hit in that inning by the Diamondbacks. Prado had the other. That's our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning, cool plays of the game. New pitcher for the Giants, Javier Lopez, usually so good coming in the middle of jams and retiring guys with runners on base. This time he will start the inning here with the 2 of the 3 Diamondbacks scheduled hitters batting from the left-hand side.
Tailing fastball, slurvy breaking ball from that real low 3/4, nearly sidearm delivery.
He has made 9 appearances this season, giving up just 3 runs. Only 1 was earned. Montero, Ross, and Kubel here in the 8th. Diamondbacks now trail at 6-4. Miguel Montero is 0 for 3. He struck out his last 2 times up. Miggy 3 for 13 in the homestand so far. Noonan saw that, came running in from third. It's 0-1. Montero has hit safely in 5 of his last 6. He was on base twice here yesterday. And this guy, since the Giants picked him up, has been an absolute machine out of the bullpen. One and two. We will not see a repeat of the 3 home runs in 1 inning, not against Javier Lopez. He has allowed only 1 home run in 113 innings pitched in a Giants uniform. That ranks as the fewest in the National League since late July of 2010. 113 innings, he's given up 1 home run. No, he did not go, says Todd Tishner at third. Three and two now. Cody Ross is on deck. Giants bullpen stirring. Santiago Casilla warming.
You would expect Lopez to be really tough on left-handed hitters, and he is. That's why he's the lone lefty in that Giants bullpen. With Miguel Montero 3 for 9 lifetime. Jason Kubel in the hole 2 for 4 with a triple and a double against Lopez.
Struck him out.
A hard slider down there below the knees. I think he's just trying to make too much happen on a pitch that you can't really do much with.
Third strikeout of the night for Miguel Montero. The last 3 Diamondbacks hitters have struck out, and now here's Cody Ross. Cody walked and scored in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. He's fouled a few off the feet and ankles lately, and now he's got a whole protector thing going on there with that front foot. I mean, he's got it covered, man.
You'd like to think so, but
it'll find a spot.
It finds an unpadded area every time.
That's a strike. It's 0-2. Cody has hit safely in 7 of his last 8. 8 for 29 over that stretch with 6 RBIs. Oh, nice hustle out there by our Golden Glover. That's Sid Rosenblatt. Look at Sid. Known around the ballpark as Doc, and look at the wheels on Doc here.
Yeah, not only can he field his position, he can steal a base for you, score from second on a base hit.
Doc Rosenblatt. There it is. He's a little tired.
Nice going, Doc.
Another 0-2 now to Cody Ross. Now we expect Harold Flieger to stay on his toes over there. Looks like he's locked in. Right field. Hunter Pence coming in. It drops in front of Pence. One out base runner here for the Diamondbacks. And Cody has now hit safely in 8 of 9.
I love to watch those Cody Ross at bats. He gets some aggressive swings early in the at bat, but once he gets to 2 strikes, he knows that most pitchers are going to try to get him out away. Shoots that ball out in front of Hunter Pence. Soft line drive, easy base hit.
A chance now for Jason Kubel. He walked in the second, hit a 2-run home run in the fourth. Inside 1-0. Jason back off the DL, strained the quad in Milwaukee April 5th. The funny thing about that was the next 4 games he played right after that, he went 6 for 14 with 2 homers and then went on the DL. One and one.
In his career, Jason Kubel has 10 multi-homer games.
Those are the numbers, the splits, of course. .238 against lefties. Tying run at the plate here with 1 out in the 8th. But as we mentioned, Javier Lopez, only 1 home run allowed in 113 innings in a Giants uniform. Two and two.
Flat slider once again across the bottom of the strike zone.
Jason made his return from the DL. Was in the lineup yesterday, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Struck him out, says Dale Scott. 2 down here in the 8th. This one looked like it was not a strike.
There's that flat breaking ball once again. Off the plate, away and down. Man.
Well, Chavez is the scheduled hitter, but of course he's a left-hander, so it looks like Alfredo Marte will come in. And the Diamondbacks will have to have a new third baseman in the top of the 9th. So here's Marte now with a chance to drive one against the left-hander. Casilla was up in the pen. Here's Ron Wotus. And that's going to be it for Javier Lopez. Casilla comes in. Marte has been announced. We take a break. 6-4 here in the 8th. MLB.com at Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers D-backs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details. New pitcher for the Giants, Santiago Casilla, and he will work to Alfredo Marte here.
Fastball in the low to mid-90s. Throws a couple of different breaking pitches, a curveball and a slider. Figure to see a lot of breaking balls in this at bat to Alfredo Marte.
13 appearances for Casilla, tied with George Contos for the most appearances on the team. Casilla has been scored on in 3 of those 13 appearances. And Marte trying to continue that trend here with 2 outs in the 8th. 1-0. Casilla has inherited a Giants leading 14 runners this year, and only 3 have scored. Opponents 2 for 16 against him with runners in scoring position. Ross is on first right now, and Marte is the tying run. Check swing to Belt. That's the inning. Casilla does the job. Will go to the 9th. D-backs trail at 6-4. And it's been Brandon Belt. He's been killing the Diamondbacks all year long. Belt had that home run off Ian Kennedy in the 2nd. Then the 2-run single off Brad Ziegler in the 8th. Ram Truck's tools of the trade. Brandon Belt. He's gotten big hit after big hit against the Diamondbacks all year long. Tony Sipp back out there to start the 9th. He retired Andres Torres to end the game. He'll face Pagan, Scudero, and Noonan here 1 through 3. Pagan 0 for 4, struck out back in the 1st.
Couple of defensive changes. Yeah, Josh Wilson takes over at second base, so Martin Prado can move to third. Eric Chavez was hit for by Alfredo Marte there to end that 8th inning.
Pagan 4 for his last 18. Two 2-0. Sergio Romo is looming. $18 times, 2 runs or fewer, and they are 2 over 500. Right field, Cody Ross. No way. Pagan 0 for 5 at the top of the Giants lineup. Now Marco Scutaro, on the other hand, has been on base 3 times today.
Second baseman, Marco Scutaro.
2 singles and a walk. He scored twice. Giants came in here dragging a 5-game losing streak. Swept in 3 over the weekend at San Diego. They've lost 8 of their last 12. But they got 2 in the first against Ian Kennedy. And then 2 in the 8th.
And most managers will tell you they hate to face a team that's been in a little bit of a losing streak, especially a good team like the Giants, because you know they're due to bust out at some point. You just hope it isn't against you.
They've scuffled away from AT&T Park a bit here. They came into tonight 5-8 on the road this year. But like the Diamondbacks, they've been playing a lot of close games lately. During the 5-game losing streak, all 5 games for the Giants decided by 2 runs or fewer. And they lost them all, but they lead here 6-4. There's a hard shot to left. Kugel won't get there. It's against the bullpen wall. And Marco Scutaro is on base for the 4th time tonight. 2 singles, a walk, and now a double.
Third baseman.
6th 2-base hit of the year for Marco Scutaro. Nice quick swing. That ball's on the inside part of the plate, maybe even the inside corner, and he got the barrel to it in a hurry. One hops the fence out there in front of the Diamondbacks bullpen.
So here's Nick Noonan now, insurance run at second base for the Giants with 1 out. Noonan came in midway through the game to take over at third base for Pablo Sandoval, who's having elbow discomfort again, and that's a bad sign for the Giants. The Panda has fought elbow problems all year long. Nick Noonan from Parker High School in San Diego, 1st round pick by the Giants back in the 07 draft. He was the 32nd player selected overall. Oh, 0-2. Noonan played 129 games at AAA Fresno last year, hit .296, 9 homers and 62 RBIs. Nick Noonan had fallen off the prospect track after he was that 1st round pick. Hit .237 in a full season at AA Richmond back in 2010. Moved around to 3 different levels in 2011, but hit only .229 before he showed some improvement last year in AAA. That .296 season. And now here he is. Sip misses there. It's 2-2. Dale Scott has been somewhat inconsistent.
Yes, he has. That's a front door breaking ball all over that inside corner of the plate at the knees.
Well, you can't throw that pitch in a better spot. Left field, here comes Kubel. Throw in the second, Scudero's back in time. Nice play there by Jason. Well, he just lives to throw out base runners from left field. We saw what he did yesterday.
On the move. That's a play you'd see a third baseman make on a high chopper down that third baseline. Get it, get rid of it quickly. Hope to catch Scudero dogging it back to the bag at second, but the veteran Marco Scudero gets back ahead of the throw.
Brings up Buster Posey. Posey has singled and walked twice. They'll work to Hunter Pence. Giants have 3 2-out RBI tonight. The biggest, of course, Brandon Belt's 2-run single in the 8th off Brad Ziegler. Giants now with 43 2-out RBIs for the season. That's third most in the National League. Diamondbacks have the fewest in the major leagues, only 16. And so with the 2 on and 2 out here, it will be Hunter Pence who gets a shot. No one up in the Diamondbacks bullpen, so this is Tony Sipp's ball game here.
Right fielder, Hunter Pence.
Pence had an RBI sac fly in the first, hit into double plays in both the third and the fifth. Find out to Goldschmidt his last time up, 0 for 3.
The double play in the fifth was the one that got Bruce Bochy ejected from this ball game. Replays clearly showed Pence was safe at first, but was called out, and Bruce Bochy up in the clubhouse watching on TV right now.
Scudero on second, Posey on first. Way out in front, 0-1.
Took a little extra off that breaking pitch, got Pence way out in front. Some guys throw a straight changeup, some guys throw a splitter, other guys are effective changing speeds on their breaking ball.
Tony Sipp primarily fastball slider. Hard down the line and left, foul. And again, we see the blazing speed of Doc Rosenblatt over there, pouncing on that thing. And Doc likes to pick out. He's sort of predetermined who's going to get the souvenir. And Doc has made a fine choice. Oh, 0-2 to Pence. Struck him out. Big strikeout there for Tony Sipp, but he strands 2. Will go bottom 9. Diamondbacks trail at 6-4. chase. Sergio Romo, 8 for 9 in save opportunities this year. 8 saves, being tied for the second most of the National League. And he goes out there with a 6-4 lead here in the 9th.
Fastball slider pitcher, throws an occasional straight change up to a left-handed hitter, but you're going to see a lot of flat sliders, a lot of tailing fastballs. See that first batter efficiency, 77%. Pretty solid numbers for Romo.
Cliff Pennington, he'll lead off the 9th, 1 for 3, doubled back in the 2nd. Eric Hinsky is on deck. He'll hit for the pitcher. Did he go there? Dale Scott says he did.
.38 previous games against the Diamondbacks. Romo has given up 3 earned runs. It's an .088 earned run average. 4-0 with 2 saves in 2 opportunities.
2-1 now. Cliff was on base twice here yesterday. Single, a walk. He scored a run. Three and 1. Pennington 3 for his last 34. Base hit. Big hit there by Cliff Pennington. Leadoff man on here in the 9th. Tying run comes to the plate, and she is not happy. Sit down.
Well, she should know better the way the Diamondbacks have come back late in games this year. That's a nice approach that time by Cliff Pennington. A tailing fastball from Romo. He intends for left-handed hitters to try to pull that ball, hit easy grounders to the right side. That time Pennington just slapped it into left for a leadoff hit.
Every game the D-backs have played with the Giants has been like this, and frankly, I don't know how they're going to stand 19 meetings this year. Here's Hinsky. Here's the strike, 0-1. High in the air, left-hand side. Blanco coming in. Under it. Well away. So the top of the order will get their chance here.
Third baseman, Martin Prado.
Martin Prado having a great night. He is 2 for 4, singled in the 3rd, homered in the 4th. One of 3 Diamondbacks home runs in that 4th inning against Matt Cain. First time in Cain's career he had ever given up 3 home runs in 1 inning. Prado in the leadoff spot tonight, a career .296 leadoff hitter. Oh, 0-1. Multi-hit game for Prado tonight. His first multi-hit game since April 12th. He had been 8 for 60 since. But having a big night here. Chance to do more damage. Check swing can't hold up. It's 0-2.
I think he was surprised by how much that slider moved. Started in the middle of the plate, ended up off the plate, low and away.
He can frisbee it up there when he wants to. National League hits leader is on deck. Gerardo Parra with a 13-game hit streak in jeopardy here. He's 0 for 4. Struck him out.
Occasionally as a pitcher you can get lucky when you miss your spot by a wide margin. Look where Posey sets up and look where the pitch ends up.
So here is Gerardo Parra with 2 outs in the ninth. The National League's hit leader going in. Began the day tied with Shin-Soo Choo and Starling Marte for the league lead. 32 hits in 25 games. He is 0 for 4. And his 13-game hit streak, a career high and National League leading, is on the line in this at-bat, as is the game. There goes Pennington. Swing and a miss. Defensive indifference. Pennington moves up to second.
That was one of the rare Romo changeups right there. I mentioned he doesn't throw it a lot, but he will throw it to a left-handed hitter, especially an aggressive first ball fastball hitter like Parra.
Second base. Scudero is there. Giants win it. And she's happy, he's not. Giants snapped their 5-game losing streak. So the Diamondbacks, who had won 5 of their last 6, dropped to 3-2 on the 7-game homestand. And Bob, another close, well-played Giants-Diamondbacks game.
Well, buckle up. I think it's going to be that way all season long. These teams are very evenly matched in a lot of different ways. Back out after them tomorrow night.
6-10-0 for the Giants, 4-7-0 for the D-backs. Let's go out to Joe and Jody.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve and Joe. This really, despite 3 home runs by the Diamondbacks in 1 inning, it was the Giants again and Brandon Belt that made the